so I was just thinking about this podcast that I listened to this morning, and it was interviewing this author of the book called The Next Right Step, and she was talking about how do you know, she's talking about making good decisions, and I thought it was so powerful. The two things that she said were, one is that it is important to acknowledge what you want, because if you do not acknowledge what you want, then it will come out in some sideways, usually unhealthy way, and that is not good. So, and it's often in our society we think that it's selfish to acknowledge what we want, but that's actually not true. It's selfish to demand what we want, but it's not selfish to acknowledge and identify what we want. And I know that I struggle with this. Sometimes you can put in the comments if you ever struggle with this, but I thought that was so powerful of an encouragement to do the hard work and take the time to acknowledge what it is that you want. Do you know in the Bible, in the New Testament, 3 times Jesus asked his disciples, what is it that you want? But he's Jesus. He already knows what we all want. He put those desires within us. And we should recognize that God puts desires within each of us. And he could have done it differently. Like he could have made us like people without passion, but he didn't. And so I think Jesus wants us to figure out what it is, what we want, and identify it and name it and write that down. So that was really encouraging. And then the second thing that she said was that sometimes, if you're a Christian, like we get so caught up in trying to figure out what decision we should make, when really making the decision is the second step. The first step is growing closer to the Lord, and he allows us to kind of maybe sometimes like seek him in prayer to figure out what decision we should make. But ultimately, if we're getting stressed out and concerned, we're getting overly stressed and concerned over the actual outcome and the decision. But if we know that God is a good father, then we already know that he's not going to let us miss the mark on whatever decision we make. And if we make the wrong decision, he's just going to work it out, because the Bible promises us in Romans 8:28 that he works all things to the good for those who love God and are called according to his purposes, right? So the purpose of making these decisions is to grow closer to the Lord in our just relationship with him. So I thought that was really awesome. And I thought it was a really timely message, because I know that there have been times in my life where we haven't known, my husband and I haven't known what to do, or we haven't known exactly how to do what we think we're supposed to be doing. And this year we finished today was the last day of school for Montessori. I'm wearing my Montessori t-shirt, this Montessori in-home preschool that my husband and I started 2 years ago, but 2 years ago as Nate shared, this was our last day of our first full school year. We were fully enrolled. We had 15 families in our Montessori and 2 amazing teachers, and we did it. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just kept taking the next right step and trying to be obedient to whatever I knew to do and how I felt the Lord was leading me. And then tonight we had this amazing day 1 of a 2-day conference for our church. And some of you might not know, but 5.5 years ago, my husband and I moved our family out here to Kingstown, Virginia, to lead the launch of this location for our church. And we thought we would never move off of Capitol Hill in DC. And then we felt like that's what the Lord was asking us to do. And we did that, and we've been so blessed in the process. I mean, of course, because like out of obedience comes blessing. So we did that, but guys, like we had no idea what we were doing. When you talk about being underqualified, we were totally underqualified. We had no idea what we were doing. And it's just so exciting to see how God is using his local church here in the Kingstown area to just, hey Megan, how you doing? To impact hundreds of lives for eternity right here in Kingstown. And just to, I think back though, how stressed out I was sometimes making decisions around like what to do about the church and, you know, what to do about this school. And I'm sure you can put in the comments if you can relate, like if you get stressed out about making decisions. And I just felt like those two things that this woman said in the podcast this morning, one, you need to recognize your wants, and if you don't recognize them and name them and get before the Lord and figure out the passions that He's given you, then they're going to come out in an unhealthy, sideways way. And two, that it's not about the decision, it's just about trusting and growing closer to the Lord. So hope you're encouraged with that. It's Friday. School is over, so have a fabulous weekend. Oh, and guys, if you would like to hang out more, I am launching, our first challenge was so incredibly popular. We're launching it again. It's called the Do Less, Achieve More 7-Day Mini Habits Challenge. It is kicking off this Monday, June 17th, so register by June 16th. That's Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at joywilder.com/do less. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a great night.